everyone, welcome to my channel. We haven't met before. My name is Shiv. Hello. If you're coming back, then welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out the Revolution Spirituality palette right here, which looks like this. I will go into it later on in the video for you, but it is absolutely gorgeous just straight off the bat, but you'll have to wait to the video to find out how it performed, and I do have some thoughts, I will definitely say. This also kind of turned into a full face of kind of testing Revolution products, just because I have a ton of new Revolution products I wanted to try, so why not put them in this video as well, so stay tuned for that. I will be putting chapters on the screen of kind of like each step of the process, so if you want more of a specific part, then click to that. If you just want to see the palette, click to the palette section, or if you're just here for a good time, then carry on watching. Sounded a bit strange, but you know what I meant. But yeah, if you'd like to see how to get this makeup look using the palette, my thoughts, feelings and opinions, then please carry on watching. Before you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it, and let's just carry on with the video. Okay, so yes, my lips look really funny. I have had them done yesterday, so they are bruised and puffy. Just gonna leave it there and onto the video, because that's not what the video is about. So I'm gonna start off by using the Revolution Soap Brow. I've never used this before. When I first got this out of the packet, I won't lie, I think it might have melted. I haven't actually managed to go into these goodies for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I just haven't had the time, and loads of stuff has been going on in my life where it's kind of prevented me from filming. So I think this has kind of melted a little bit. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of all over the mirror, and the actual soap bit here was on the mirror, so just bear that in mind, keep it in a cold place. But I feel like it'll be fine once I've cleaned it up. So I'm going to take the little toothbrushy kind of thing it comes with. I have just had my brows laminated and done and tinted and stuff, so I'm hoping this will work. And I've seen a good few people use this recently, like on Instagram, and it really intrigued me. So I'm just gonna like scrub the brush into the soap. I don't know like how much you're supposed to go in with, because I've never used this before. I haven't seen people like wet the brush, I've seen them just go straight into the product. So I'm just gonna use a different mirror. I'm just gonna use this to brush up the brows. Oh, okay. Just applying pressure while I do that. It's actually doing a pretty good job. I don't know if that's my hair or the toothbrush thing. Okay, I'm quite impressed, you know, it's like really pulling them upwards. I'm not going to bother filling them in, I don't think. And also, I just look a mess at the moment. I've got the like red bit under my brow because I had my brows waxed, so, and I stupidly was using retinol creams leading up to it, and you're not supposed to use retinol when using wax, and I just completely forgot, so it kind of just took off my skin. So just bear that in mind. If you're getting a brow wax, don't use retinol. Do you know what, I'm actually really liking this. This is very like easy to use, and the little applicator that comes with really isn't that bad. Do you know what, I'm actually quite impressed with that soap brow. I think if you can't bother to faff around with like actual soap and water and you just want something like all in one, I'm quite impressed. Pushing that down with my finger. I think I might fill them in a little bit later on with just like a brow pencil in the sparser areas, but not for the time being. I actually really like that. It's done it really nicely. It's not too messy either. Big fan of the soap brows. I just feel like if you are going to get it, remember that it is technically soap, or like whatever it's made of, and it kind of melted. So I'm going to keep it upright in my drawer. So if you do order it, go for it, it's really good, but I would just remember that it might melt. Next up, I have a few bits of skincare. So I've just micellar watered over my face to get rid of the moisturiser that I already had on. So I'm going to start off by using some eye cream. This is the Revolution Toning Boost Bakuchiol eye cream. When the eye cream launched, I was really excited to see what they were like, and I couldn't make my mind up which to go for. The cucumber one, they have a watermelon one, I think like a vitamin C one maybe, but this one just drew me because I love their Bakuchiol serum. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my finger. Luckily it's kind of come to the front so I can get it with my super long nails. I can take a little bit of that and just pop that under the eyes. Kind of let the skincare soak in before I do the rest of the face. So I'm just going to take my ring fingers, do that very gently under the eye. I love a good eye cream. I know they're essentially like higher priced moisturisers, but I just love them. Smooth that over my little sore bit of my eye, kind of heal that a bit. Not on the eyelid, just above. And then pat that in. That feels really nice and like cooling. Obviously I won't see like a difference right now, but I have actually conveniently just finished my other eye cream, which was a Superdrug one I was using, so I'll be using this now. I have it to replace it, so if I fall in love with it I will let you know on Instagram. Okay, that's actually really nice. It's almost given a little bit of like luminosity to underneath the eyes. Then we have a moisturizer. This is the SPF 30 Perfecting Boost for normal to dry skin. Got to wear your SPF in the daytime every day, protect your skin, so important. So I'm just gonna take off the little lid. Doesn't smell of anything really. I'm just gonna go in and pop that onto my face. Okay, that would do. I'm just gonna put the lid back on because I'm having one of those days where I'm just, my hand-eye coordination is just a bit off, so I'm being super clumsy. So I'm just gonna make sure that I don't drop it and get cream everywhere. Just gonna massage that into the skin. So weird seeing myself with bigger lips. I literally, like I said, only had them done yesterday, so I'm still getting used to them, and I know obviously it's not everyone's cup of tea, and you know, you can do what you want with your face. It's just what I chose to do, so yeah. Oh, that feels nice. It's soaked into the skin quite quickly, which is good. It doesn't feel like greasy or sticky or anything like that, which we obviously don't want. Not used to long nails either. I just felt like I wanted to pamper myself after all of this lockdown mess. Pressing that into the skin, that feels super nice. Hopefully it doesn't like bubble up when I do my foundation and everything, but that will come later. I also have a lip balm. I already have the Revolution Mango Smoothie one, which I love and I've actually been using a lot lately, but I got the vanilla cake one right here, and I tried this out very briefly. If I can open it, 'cause the cream on my hands. Now I'm gonna go in with the lip balm. I did use this the other day. It's actually really nice. Pop that on my lips to soak in while I do my eyes and my face. And this is a lip mask and balm, so I assume you can either put on like a really thick layer and let it soak in, or just a thinner layer. So nice. I love anything vanilla. Before my eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base. I'm just going to pack that all across the lid just in prep for the eyeshadow, just because I use this with every single makeup look anyway. So I'm just going to take a little splodge of that, and then take my P. Louise Mirror brush and then just blend that into the eye in patting motions and also carving out the brow. Don't really know how it's gonna go on top of this like fresh skin, and I probably should have waited another day for it to calm down, but it's okay. It is going a little bit patchy just on top of that kind of damaged bit of skin, so I will take that into consideration when I'm testing out the shadow. Right, onto the shadow. We actually have quite a few different options in this palette. This is actually something that I would gravitate towards every day. I do love a good warm neutral-ish kind of palette, because of course our eyelids don't look like this coppery glittery colour, but this is just like my ideal palette. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I have used the Forever Flawless palettes before and I love them, so I feel like I'm gonna love this already, but we shall give it a go. So I've kind of planned out the look in my head. I'm going to start with the shade Tranquility, which is this one right here, which is a very, very dark, almost like burgundy brown kind of colour. That's how I'm describing it anyway. So I'm going to take that on a Peaches and Cream PC22 brush, and I'm just going to smooth out the P. Louise base so it's not creasing. And I am just going to start packing that into the outer crease. I am going to be doing a cut crease. I just feel like it's the best way to test shadows, because you can put as many colours on the lid as possible. So I'm going to take the shade Tranquility, which is obviously a bit of a shame because it has a beautiful lily rose, I'm not very good at flowers, in the pan, and now I'm ruining it. Just gonna tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to start by pressing that into the outer corner, and I'm going to bring it out into a wing like shape. I don't know how this kind of section is going to go because it is a little bit, not cakey, but I don't know if you can see the layers have gone a bit weird, so I might have to like double up a little bit, but I'm just going to give it a go and see what happens. So I'm just kind of packing that in like a little triangle, just packing that above the crease. That is a a nice shadow. And even though I've got the weird sort of fresh skin, almost a burn texture basically underneath my brow from the wax, and the base has gone much lighter on that area, once I packed it down a few amounts it doesn't actually look that obvious, so I'm quite happy with that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, like intense pigment there, really, really nice. Just being super light-handed just to kind of fluff out the edges a little bit. My lips are insane, aren't they? So big and swollen. I feel like once I put lipstick on they'll look fine. It's just taking me a little while to get used to them, but I do love them and I am happy with them. I woke up this morning like, oh, I have new lips. How strange. That is actually a really gorgeous colour. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Harmony. Am I? Yes, I am. Which is this one right here, which is, how do I describe this shade? It's basically a lighter version of Tranquility, so it's like a light burgundy. I don't know if I'm describing the colours right, but that's what it looks like to me. And I'm going to take that on a Peaches and Cream PC47 brush, which is a small blending brush. I highly recommend the Peaches brushes. I've been slowly adding more to my collection. They are so good. And the tinier the brush, the more precise your work is going to be. To be fair, I did take this a little bit too far inwards for my liking, but we'll make it work, as we always do. So I'm going to go in with the shade Harmony. That just reminds me of, if you've seen that film House Bunny, when Shelley, to remember everyone's name, says it in like a really deep, like almost Darth Vader kind of voice, like Harmony. If you haven't seen that film, that reference will make no sense to you. Anyway, I'm just going to take that shade right here, smooth out this base that keeps creasing. We're going to be cutting the crease anyway, but I am just going to kind of pack that just here, and then in the inner section I'll put orange. I'm just kind of, and then I'm going to blend that into Tranquility. So Harmony and Tranquility. When I saw this palette I was like, that has literally got my name written all over it. I love it, love it, love it. Just so peaceful and calming. Blending that on top of Tranquility in like little motions. Very, very light hand. I'm actually going to take a little bit of that as well and blend that on top of Tranquility just to kind of help blend it out. There's no really light colour in this palette, so I might have to use a face powder to blend out the edges later. I'm just going to use these two. Yeah, that's kind of made a bit of a difference to blend out the edges of Tranquility, but so far so good. They're blending into each other really nicely, and I'm really surprised how well it's working on top of the kind of ripped skin situation. Got a little bit of gap under my brows. Send that in. And I'm going to be putting orange right in that inner section. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to take the orange, which is called Chant. This is actually a really beautiful, like, deep orange shade. So I'm going to take that right here, just on the inner section of this kind of blend. So past the tear duct, basically. I've been really loving a cut crease where it comes further inwards. I feel like it makes your eyes look bigger. So I'm going to take a Morphe M506 brush, which is one of my favourite brushes, and I definitely need to stock up on these. I only have the one and I love this brush. It's so like fluffy and just blends the product amazing, but it's small so you can like be more precise, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go in with Chant. This one has less fallout than the other shades, that's interesting. And I'm just going to pack that. Oh, this one's pigmented. Just going to kind of pack that on the inner corner. Trust the process because this will look a little bit crazy, but I have faith that it will go to plan. Just gotta have faith, you know. Blending that into the inner corner and then also into Harmony and Tranquility. Do love a bit of orange. Okay, happy with that. Oh, when I tilt my head back and I look into the mirror, you can see the line of the damaged skin. I'm just going to go back through the colours one more time just to re-intensify and just redefine what we've already put down before we go ahead and cut the crease. I'm just going in with Tranquility, and now that that's already on my lid, I can be a little bit more free with my brush. Blending that all around. I'm then taking Harmony and blending that on top of Tranquility, bringing it in and merging all the colours together. I'm going to put a shimmer on the lid actually, so on the brow bone, and then back in with Chant. I feel like I kind of need something to blend out Chant here, so I'm actually going to take this powder which is in my hand. It's a super pale powder. When I chose the shade I didn't realise how pale it would be. This is in the shade Beige. It's the CC Perfecting Pressed Powder. When I use this later I'm just going to use it under my eyes. I think it's too pale for the rest of my face. But I'm going to take the Morphe M433 brush and just go into this powder, and then I'm just going to use that to kind of blend out this orange, just to diffuse it a little bit because I feel like it's a very kind of stark line. I love that word, stark. Blending that out. Yeah, that's kind of helped. I don't know if you can see, but it's just a bit softer on the edges. I'm now going to go into the shade Dream, which is a pretty kind of champagne colour right here, and I am going to pop it onto the brow bone. I'm going to use this brush from Morphe. It's one of their brush collections. I think it was from the Pride collection, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to pop that onto the brow bone. Any kind of small flat shader brush will work. I kind of went through a phase of not putting shimmer on the brow bone. I don't really know why, because I love it. So I'm just tapping off the excess and just popping that on to the brow bone. I'm just going to take a teeny little bit of Harmony, the kind of middle shade, tap off the excess, and then just go in between this shimmery shade and Tranquility, the darker shade, just to blend the highlights into the rest of the shadow. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of added to it. Okay, we are now ready to cut the crease. So if you didn't see my previous video, which was my cut crease in-depth tutorial, I'll link that for you above in a card. I don't know which side it is, up here somewhere, and I'll also leave it in the description box below, so definitely watch that if you want to sort of learn in depth my tips and tricks on how to get a sharp cut crease. But I'm going to take a cotton bud basically and some micellar water and just use this to create the shape before I put the concealer down. And these cotton buds are from Aldi, and they are paper, so they are completely biodegradable, which is amazing. I'm just going to start by cutting the crease. I won't go into too much detail because it's mainly about the palette, but if you do want to know, just go ahead and watch that video. But I am going to cut it just past the tear duct to open up the eyes. Then I'm going to take a Peaches Makeup PC40 brush, which is new to my collection, but I'm so excited about it because it is so thin. Like, that's such a good thin brush, and I've always used the Makeup International one. If you are a subscriber of my channel already, you'll know how much I use that brush, but I can never link it online because I can't find it anywhere. So now we have a similar one. I can link you a brush to use. So I'm going to take a PC40. Annoyingly, it's like beautiful, clean, crisp and white, and I'm going to ruin it with the P. Louise base. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the base onto the brush and just pop that in the section that I've just removed the shadow of. Yeah, that's way too much. I'm just going to transfer kind of half and half to each eye because I've just put on way too much on the brush. And the trick is just to, like, if you are going to put a lot of product of this, like, let it dry and then add another layer. Oh, this brush is amazing, I can already tell. I'm just going to use this to cut the crease. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I have done a cut crease tutorial. Go watch it. Just shamelessly self-plugging. Crease is cut. I just want to give a quick shout out to this PC40 brush from Peaches. Like, it's so thin and that was so easy to use. New favourite cut crease brush. I'm gonna get so many of those to stock up on. So now that we've cut the crease, I'm just gonna say I did have a little bit of trouble just here because of the damaged skin on my eye situation, so please bear with me, but the shadows are holding up amazingly considering. So I kind of wish you could live vote, but you can't. There's a choice of a few shimmers in this palette, so we have more like glittery shades, we have some shimmers. I'm really drawn to this shade. I'm kind of tempted to put that all across the lid, but then, like, do I want to switch it up a little bit? Who knows? That shade's actually really pretty as well, but I feel like it won't go with the look as much. So it's a vote out of these two. I'm gonna go for this one right here, which is called Namaste. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it and pack that all across the lid. And I'm taking another Peaches brush. I told you I stocked up recently. This is the PC52, another thin flat shader brush. I really realised I had so many blending brushes and not enough flat shader brushes, so I got one of those. I have no idea if this is going to work with a wet brush, packing it on. We all know my experience with pressed glitters if you are a subscriber of mine. Yeah, I can tell already. I've just tried to brush over the shadow. I don't know if I can like show you here. Sorry about my squeaky chair. I'm like not picking up anything at all. What I'm going to do, because it is a glitter, I'm just going to brush that off on my hand. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shade Aura, which is, why am I holding this like, this one right here. I'm going to go in with this goldy bronze colour on the lid first, just because it's a normal shimmer, and then I'll go in with a little bit of a wet brush and this glitter over the top, just because I want this look to be nice, and I feel like I can just tell by one swipe of the brush that the glitter wasn't on it. Pressed glitters are just a really weird formulation. I just find them really difficult to work with. Okay, so that there has come off straight on the brush. That's the shade Aura, the golden bronze normal shimmer shade. So I haven't wet my brush or anything, just going straight into the shadow, tapping off the excess, and I'm just going, oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going to pack that all across the lid. I'm going to attempt to put some lashes on. I'll do this off screen as I do always. I'm popping on the Eldora H114 lashes. They're just kind of like Ardell Wispies, just super long kind of lashes. They go a little bit bigger at the outer corner, just a little bit. So I'm going to pop these on and I'll be right back. I am back. Not gonna lie, that was actually such a like struggle putting my lashes on with lifted lashes, and considering they've kind of like died down a bit because it was over 2 weeks ago now. They're okay. I feel like I might not do a lash lift again because I just can't put eyelashes on and I like wearing falsies. So I'm going to do the lower lash line later, I think, because I want to bring it quite far down. So, very disorganised because I haven't filmed in a while. I kind of get out of my flow. I'm going to take the highly spoken about Revolution Pore Perfecting Primer. This is I believe, don't get me wrong, a dupe of the Toucher Silk Canvas Primer, but also a dupe of the e.l.f. one. So I'm going to take this and kind of like smooth it into my pores. I believe that's how it, oh god, what just came out? Okay, so we have a little spatula that it comes with. That's so like beautiful and fresh, isn't it? Just like so untouched. It's like fresh snow that no one's trodden in. But now we're going to trod in it. So I'm going to take some of the primer. I have no idea like how much you're supposed to use, and then take it on the back of my ring finger. I've taken about that much, just kind of like a blob. Smooth it in. Oh my god, that goes a long way. Okay, I had no idea. Oh my god. It's like putting sun cream on. Okay, give it time. I look ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to smooth some of that down my neck as well because I put foundation on there as well. I'm just gonna kind of work that in. Okay, so when you blend it in, it doesn't look as crazy. When you first put it on, I was like, oh my god, that's gonna go too far, but this is okay. Smoothing it into my classic problem area, my chin. I've got two little spots underneath my lip that were there like brewing before I had my lips done yesterday, and now they've come to the surface, and because it's so close to the bruising on my lips, I am not popping them, so I'm just gonna leave them to brew. Okay, so it's actually very smoothing. It just kind of takes a while to like work into the skin. Definitely like mattified my kind of nose area for sure. Okay, and it hasn't gone funny with the moisturiser either. So far so good. It's nice and smoothing and mattifying. If you're someone who has particularly oily skin with large pores, I feel like you'll really like this. It just looks so damaged now with my little hole that I made. Okay, next up I'm actually quite excited for. This is the CC Perfecting Foundation SPF 30 in the shade F8. When I swatched it on my hand, it was very pink. I didn't realise how pink it would be, so I might have to go for F9 in future if I do like the formula. But with foundation shades, I just make them work, and choosing them online is always a struggle. So I'm going to take some onto my skin and kind of just see how far that spreads. So I'm going to take a brush. I just feel like using a brush today. This is the Peaches Makeup PC16 brush. I'm just obsessed with these brushes. Okay, I'm just going to start by patting that into the skin. It's a CC cream basically, so it won't give like a ton of coverage, but I can put concealer. I'm just going to cover up my little spot on my neck. Okay, I might want to go in with a little bit more. I'm just going to take the brush to kind of work that into the skin. Coverage isn't bad, you know, like considering it's basically supposed to be a CC cream. Looks like this. It's very nice packaging actually. And I do, so far, like on my face, just looking at it blending into the skin, I do like the kind of finish of the foundation. But whether it will last, that's a different question. I'll leave a kind of note somewhere on the screen for you to let you know how this foundation wore through the evening. I'm having a friend round this evening, socially distanced, don't worry. So whether it kind of lasts through the evening, I will let you know. It's actually a really nice finish. It isn't too bad. Oh, I keep doing that. I swatched it on my hand earlier and it just looked very pink, so I was slightly concerned because, I mean, as you can tell from my orange hands, I have just recently fake tan, so I thought it would look a little bit silly, but it's actually okay. Just pulling up my hairline to get right in there, patting that in. It's covered up my blemishes pretty well actually. I think I will add a little bit of eyebrow pencil once I'm finished the rest of the makeup to fill in the sparse area, just because the eyes are quite heavy. I feel like it will balance out the eyes a little bit. It smells like, oh my god, it's got a really similar smell. I haven't seen like any like reviews on this, but it smells like another foundation that I used to use all the time, and I can't for the life of me think what it is. Is it a MAC one? No, MAC scent's very like, you know a MAC foundation smell. What is that? Is it Revlon? Revlon Colour Stay? I don't know, it smells like another foundation and I can't think of what it is. Just gonna keep patting all over my skin, but so far I'm really liking the finish. Quite dewy, and I've kind of been more into dewier foundations lately, and I'll still set them with powder anyway. But it's just because doing that, so going in with like dewy skin and then just setting in place, I just feel like it gives more of like a flawless kind of look because you're balancing it out rather than like matte. If that makes any sense at all. So I will still powder, but I just prefer the finish of like a dewy but set with powder. Okay, I'm actually really liking that. That's not a bad shade for my fake tan. It just looked really pink on my hand for some reason, but I think it's because my hands always pick up the tan more, hence why they're so orange. Big thumbs up from me for the foundation. Oh my god. Why? So this is the first time that I'm wearing this top in an outfit. I got this top ages ago, like before lockdown. And look, I've just got foundation on it, on my boob. Can't even like cover it. Okay, I'm gonna have to like change or try and wash it out of the top. That's really annoying. And it's the slinky material. I don't know if that'll come out. Love that. Told you I was being clumsy today. Okay, moving on before I get too upset about it. I'm taking the Makeup Obsession, and this is one of Revolution's brands. This is the DO2 Quick Stick. I've realised that I don't actually have a lot of like cream contour products. I want to try it out some more. So I'm just going to use this to cream contour. This is what it looks like. It's super fresh. Just going to go under the usual places. So under the cheeks and like around the temples, around the tops of the forehead. Just kind of, it just frames the face. You can cream contour any way you want really, but I just find this works for me. Okay, and then down the nose. Under the lip. Not that I need any more poutiness, but why not? And then under the jaw, hopefully chisel that out a bit. It's very creamy. If I fall in love with this, I'll be very happy just because it's super affordable and I do love a cream contour. So I'm going to blend that out with a Smashbox cream cheek brush. Quite warm, but I don't mind that. I think they had like a cooler toned one as well, but this is like a foundation stick, so they come in so many different shades, so you could also use it for highlight maybe under the eyes or for your actual foundation if you wanted to. I just don't like using stick foundations all over the face. I feel like they really kind of settle into my pores, but I love them for like cream contouring. Probably a little bit too warm on my nose, but it's fine. Okay, next time I'm definitely going to go in with less product. Okay, my camera died while I was blending, but as you can see, I have super orange cheeks and everything. I do really like this. I think it's super easy to blend, but I might pick up a slightly cooler tone, maybe lighter colour. This is DO2, so I'll have a look on the website and see if I can pick a lighter shade. I do like it and I will use it again, but I think I'll go in with just a very light hand because honestly it's so easy to blend. It's almost too easy to blend. Luckily I did my contour first, so I can kind of fix it with the concealer. So I'm taking the Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer in the shade C5. I have used this before and I do really like it. So I'm going to pop some on my chin, on those little spot things, and then on my forehead. Can't believe I got foundation on my top, I'm so annoyed. Wonder if I can get that out like in the sink. And then down the nose, and of course under the eyes. Oh my god, that is awful. This is like one of the first Revolution products in ages that are like instantly I'm like, no, that's so patchy. I'm gonna take the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the shade Sun Glow. I'm not even gonna try and use that bronzer because that was just like upsetting me. So I'm gonna take this and just go in with one patchy cheek. Like, this is so much easier to blend. Do love this bronzer. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer Sun Glow. I use it all the time. See how easy it blended on that side compared to when I tried the Splendor bronzer. I thought that was going to be really nice. That was very patchy. Sorry, Revolution. I love everything else. For blush, I have the Flamingo Blush Quad, I think this is. It looks like this on the inside. I'm going to go in with this colour just because it's a bit more toned down on my favourite blush brush at the moment, which is the Sigma F37 Spotlight Duster Brush. I'm just going to dust that onto the high points of my cheeks. I've been liking putting blush just like higher up recently. Okay, that's pigmented. This cheek looks awful. Okay, well, we'll just take our photo. I always take my photos from this side anyway. We'll just pretend it's not there. This side is so much nicer. Just going to take my face powder, the Maybelline one, and just kind of like tap over this section maybe. I don't know if that's like done anything. I'm going to set this into place now using the Revolution Glass Glow Fix spray. While that's still kind of tacky, I'm going to go in with my highlighter, which I'm actually quite excited to try. This is the highlighter Reloaded in the shade Golden Lights. I feel like this used to be like the drugstore highlighter to wear, but it looks like that. It's kind of baked 3D design, which means you get more for your money. It's absolutely gorgeous looking at it. I'm just going to go in with a dry highlighter brush. Just onto... Oh, that's nice. A bit on my nose. Above the brow, just because it looks pretty. And across the cheekbone, of course. That's a really, really beautiful highlight. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm just going to take a pencil brush now and pop it on the inner corners of my eyes. That's so pretty. I do love an inner corner highlight. For the waterline, I'm going to take a dark brown liner. This is the Revolution Pro Brown Gel Eyeliner Pencil. Oh, I just love that sound. I'm just going to pop that into the waterline. I'm now just going to take the Revolution Pro Powder. This is really beautiful packaging. And I'm going to take the shade Beige. This is the one that I felt was too light to put on my face, but I feel like it would be really nice under the eyes. So I'm going to take a Morphe M448, which is perfect for under the eyes. I'm just going to pack that right under the eyes just to brighten that area, and also I feel like I didn't set properly under the eyes. Yeah, that's nice under the eyes. Okay, I'm going to be using this a lot more, I think. This is really beautiful. I used to use the Anastasia Vanilla and Banana mixed together under the eyes to brighten. I called it my beautifying powder, so this is going to be a much cheaper alternative, and that's so nice. A little bit in the middle of my forehead just for good measure. I like that. That's nice. I think I might buy a darker shade of this for my actual face powder because I've been on the hunt recently for good face powders. If anyone knows any, let me know. Before I do my lips, because I want to leave that till last just because I'm kind of intrigued to see what I'm going to look like with lipstick on. I'm going to just fill in my brows a little bit. I'm going to take the Bella Pierre Chestnut Brow Pencil and I'm just going to fill in the sparse areas. Sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. We're having like a socially distanced evening bubble of 6 if you're from the UK round tonight, and my parents are just setting up the garden, so I'm a bit distracted, and the garden is literally like right there. So I'm just going to fill in the brows. Like, I'm not shaping them or anything like that. I'm just trying to fill in the sparse areas a little bit. Ooh, okay, mascara on the lower lashes. Then we've got this lip crayon. I tried a Morphe one recently, so I was excited to try another lip crayon, and I loved the Morphe one. So this is the Velvet Kiss lip crayon in the shade Heart Race. It looks like a pinky nude. So I'm gonna pop that on. It feels really weird to put it on my new lips. Okay, that's a really nice colour. I really like this lip crayon. I'd definitely reach for this on like an everyday basis, and I would highly recommend these. They feel super hydrating as well, because it's like a crayon, you can always like draw it rather than like a lipstick where you can't get a precise line. So I really like this. And then to finish off this look, I'm going to take the Revolution Shimmer Bomb Lip Gloss with Vitamin E in the shade Starlight, which I believe is a dupe of one of the Fenty Beauty lip glosses. I've tried the Pout Bomb lip gloss from Revolution before and I really liked it, so I hope I like the Shimmer Bomb. Oh, it's fresh. Kind of got gold glitter and like a peach gloss. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it smells like peaches. Yeah, that's really, really, really nice. This is the finished look. I do really like it. It's definitely not my best work. I just had obviously a lot of things going on. New lips slash the eyebrow wax situation, but I am just going to go off camera and just kind of get myself together, have a little floof as I like to call it, and I'll be right back to go through how I found the palette and everything like that. I've had a little floof and I scrubbed my top in the sink with some hot water and it's kind of faded the mark a little bit, and I'll just use my hair to cover it, so we're fine. Not that you are watching the video to know about my foundation stain. So onto the palette. I think this palette is beautiful. I kind of had a feeling that I would love it anyway. I love the design on the front. I think it's really beautiful and I love these colours. And on the inside, these are colours that I would draw to on like an everyday or like a night out basis. These are the colours that I would tend to go for, just very like warm tones, burgundies, oranges. They're like my favourite shadow colours apart from purple. Purple will trump all. But I do really like this palette, and that shade there I was so impressed with, which is called Aura. It's just covered in shadow so I couldn't read it, but I did absolutely love that shadow. The pressed glitter was okay. I feel like if you're going to use the pressed glitters in the pan, I would advise putting a similar shimmer underneath so you have a base to it. So just remember they are pressed glitters, they don't really have that like base underneath the colour, if that makes any sense. You want something underneath them. But yeah, I think this palette is absolutely beautiful and I'd highly recommend it. I love all the Forever Flawless palettes, and I kind of went through the products as I went on to the video, but I really liked the primer actually. I did notice my foundation went on nicely over top. The foundation is lovely. I just feel like you need a little amount because it is very dewy, to the point I didn't actually feel like I put enough powder on, and I put a lot of powder on, so just bear that in mind. Love the lip gloss. That is absolutely gorgeous and it really does smell like peaches. Oh, I love it. So nice. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Palette for me is a big thumbs up. I'm going to be doing a blog post review on it, so check it out in the description box down below. If you did enjoy this video, as always, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really does definitely help me out. Pop a comment down below. Let me know what videos you want to see from me now I'm kind of getting back up and running. Just honestly, I won't go into it because I want to keep a lot of things private, but just the past couple months, maybe more, have just been a little bit crazy for me. So it's been kind of hard being in a rhythm with things, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but slowly. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching and I shall see you next time. Bye!